The YouTube sensation, the Kiss Tard's aggravation. He always stops and smells the flowers, too clean to take showers. At night he fights crime, a few coins short of a roll of dimes. A lunatic run amok, he is the illustrious Dr. Fuck.
Smack-a-maga, people, this is difficult. Dave Tarone donated for me to say, what are my top 10 favorite albums? Writing up this list was torturous, and I gotta say right now, it is subjected to change. And, man, you can see I scratched out a bunch and added, and so I want to talk about what really hurts to leave off my top 10 first. And gotta say, Armored Saint. Armored Saint was originally on the list, and I had to scratch it out. Hurts, because they should be in my top 10. Definitely, in my opinion, the most underrated band ever. Motorhead, man. I own everything Motorhead's ever released. And I had to scratch that out too, to make room for what's in my top 10. But, you know, I got to tell you, man, Motorhead and Armored Saint will be in my top 10 at other times. The Ramones. Oh, that kills me. Rush. Love Rush. But, you know what? That one didn't hurt as much because, you know, there is a lot of Rush albums I don't like. You know, after Grace Under Pressure, I didn't like Power Windows or Hold That Fire or Roll the Bones, Presto. Counterparts, they got me back in. Sex Pistols. Only released one album, but still worthy of being in the top 10. But since it was only one album, okay, I'll leave them off since they didn't really, you know, release more albums that you can judge them on more albums, so. Thin Lizzy. No excuse there. That shit hurts. Leaving Thin Lizzy off my top 10 is blasphemous, but I had to do it. And 70s Kiss. You know, I know a large amount of subscribers I have are Kiss fans. My Kiss videos, you know, pretty much, you know, are the most viewed. But seriously, no, every band I mentioned before Kiss now, I would put them before Kiss. You're going to get nothing but honesty here. And you know what? If you're going to hate on me, hey, all I can say is, if I ain't got haters and I have a YouTube channel, I'm doing something wrong. All right, so here we go. And plus, I got to say, I'm probably leaving out some bands that or honorary mentions. I'm not sure if I put Slayer on my list. So Slayer, you know, again, a lot of stuff after Seasons I wasn't a fan of. I did love World Painted Blood, and Relentless was pretty good too. But, you know, Metal Blade Years and Rain of Blood and South of Heaven and Seasons deserved to be in my top 10, but didn't make it. All right, so here we go. At number 10, it hurts to put them so low, but what am I wearing? Rainbow. Though I do love every Rainbow lineup, I'm going to have to say it is obviously the Dio lineup that I would put in my top 10. I wouldn't put Graham Bonnet or Joe Lynn Turner or Doogie over all these bands, but the Dio stuff. Those 3 albums in the live album, you know, I had to scratch some bands out to add that in there. At number 9, to me, the greatest thrash band ever, Violence. I put it at number 9. All right, at number 8, the amazing Blue Oyster Cult. Definitely in my top 10. You know, another one, another honorary, now I'm thinking about it, The Who. The Who's another one that didn't make my top 10 that absolutely love. At number 7, which is shocking to me because I think it should be higher, but no, I mean, well, today. Cheap Trick. Cheap Trick, man. Though, again, they have a lot of albums I didn't like, but, man, from the first album to All Shook Up, just deserves to be in my top 10. At number 6, AC/DC, the Bon Scott years. Even though I would put the first 3 Brian Johnson albums pretty close to it, but, you know, from High Voltage to Highway to Hell, definitely deserves to be in my top 10. All right, now we're going into the top 5. At number 5, the Metal Gods, Judas Priest. I'm glad they made my top 5. They should be in my top 5. They're just one of those bands that really changed. Like, Kiss got me into music and hard rock and all that, but Judas Priest is what got me into metal. And to me, man, they perfected it. They are the greatest 24/7 metal band from, you know, when I got into them. Everything 70s, you know. But I love all Priest, except for Turbo and a couple other ones. All right. And number 4 should be higher. And I will say, overlooking my list now, it is the greatest band, in my opinion, from America, the U.S. Formed in America. The brothers are Dutch. Talking about the mighty Van Halen. Definitely got to be in the top 5. And number 3, Led Zeppelin. Yep, Led Zeppelin and the next band I'm going to name are bands I've seen a lot of people say they're overrated. Well, all I can say to you guys is that I hope that what Led Zeppelin does to me and the next band do to me that a lot of people call overrated, you have a band that makes you feel as good as these 2 bands make me feel. Because at number 2, now let me explain before I say number 2. I think number 2 is the greatest band ever, but I'm going to have to say, to me there's a difference because I'm insane. There's a difference of the greatest band and my favorite band. So number 2 being my favorite band, not my favorite band, my second favorite, well, no, actually my third favorite, because number 1 is tied. I cannot separate my number 1, so you can kind of say I'm cheating. But my number 1, I can't say which one's better than the other. All I know is they're both my favorite bands. But at number 2 is the Beatles, which I feel is the greatest band. The greatest band. Not my favorite, but the greatest. And they made it all the way up to number 2. I can't live without the Beatles. The Beatles, no matter how crappy my day is, I put on the Beatles and they make everything great. That's why I say, all you people that say the Beatles are overrated and you hate the Beatles, all I can say to you is that I hope you have that band. That band that does to you what the Beatles do for me. If not, then your life sucks. Seriously. You need a band that makes you, uplift you, and make you enjoy life. And the Beatles, they do that, man. They do that as much as every band on here, but really the Beatles, a little extra. Now, number 1, and they're split by eras. Number 1, and a lot of people know this because I always end my videos saying, listen to Black Sabbath. And mainly 70s Black Sabbath. If it's the Dio stuff, yeah, it deserves to be in my top 10, but not number 1. And I love Ian Gill and shit. Born Again, I would put even over the Dio stuff. That's my favorite Black Sabbath album after Ozzy. But the Dio stuff, perfection. Love it. And I love Seven Star and the Tony Martin stuff too. And it's tied with 80s Merciful Fate. I love Merciful Fate. Later on, you know, In the Shadows Time, Dead Again. What's the one with the uninvited guest? I don't know. And Nine is super underrated. But my number 1, Into the Unknown, is the album I was thinking about. The EP, No One's Having No Fun EP, Melissa, my favorite, and Don't Break the Oath. those three are the greatest for me metal albums, even though Diary of a Madman, I thought the other day, damn, that might be even better. And oh, that's another one, Ozzy with Randy Rhoads. I don't know if I would put it in my top 10. I would put it in my top 10, but not today. But it's definitely an honorary mention. So, Dave Tarone, there you go. My agonizing top 10 list that if you ask me again to give my top 10, it probably will be different. But I can't see Merciful Fate from the 80s and 70s Black Sabbath ever be dethroned. It's just an equal amount of awesomeness. So thank you, Dave, for the donation. And if you'd like to donate, I got a PayPal in the description below. And please subscribe to my channel if you have not. So, stay frosty. Listen to Black Sabbath and 80s Merciful Fate. And smack 'em a gob. And what the hell, let's do it. Bang, bang, pizza skulls.